Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So on today's video, we're going to be working on this Lexus GX470. This is a 2004. It's my father-in-law's car. He's had it since it was brand new, and he's taken pretty good care of it cosmetically. He's painted the outside like twice already, I think. And the headlights, over the years, I've buffed them a few times just to keep them nice and clean. But in the last few years, just sitting in the Florida sun, those things have been oxidized and cracking and pretty much dead. So in today's video, I'm gonna go ahead and install some aftermarket Eagle Eye replacements, the sport versions, which are a little bit darker toned versus the OEM ones which was like an ugly green tint. And along with that, I'm gonna go ahead and replace the bumper ones too with some new aftermarket ones. At the end of this video, I'm gonna get them installed on there. So in today's video, I'll go ahead and show you guys how to take apart the bumper, and we'll go ahead and install these and see what the output looks like with the new headlights. So before we get started in today's video, I wanted to do my giveaway from my last video. So if you watched all the way to the end of my last video, I was doing a giveaway for these door cup lights that I got at the junkyard for the 2IS. So all you had to do was leave a comment in the video, and I was gonna pick a winner, or actually gonna pick two winners to win these door cups that I got from the junkyard. So on today's video, I wanna announce the winner as Johnny from Charlotte. You are the first winner of a set like this. Go ahead and DM me on Instagram at this handle right here, and I'll go ahead and send these over to you. In addition, Dennis from New York, you also won the second set. So go ahead and hit me up on Instagram, and I'll go ahead and send these off to you guys. So I've got these aftermarket Eagle Eyes right here. These are the sport versions that come with that nice tinted color versus that ugly green tint that the OEM clear ones come with. I chose these just because they were a little bit cheaper than the OEM clear looking ones. Even the factory OEM versions of the sport ones are actually $100 cheaper per headlight, which is kind of odd, but I like the sport ones better. On the pictures of the sales pictures, it makes it look like the lens is tinted, but the lens is actually clear. It's really the chrome inside that's a little bit dark. But these things are pretty impressive quality, made in Taiwan. Everything about them screams OEM quality from just looking on the outside of it. You can tell the build quality on these just from looking at the molding and everything on the back and the way things are printed. Even on the lenses, I was very impressed with the way they look as far as all the printing on the lenses. None of it makes it look generic or anything. So before I even thought about putting these on, I coated these with some Armor Shield 9 from Avalon King just to make sure these are protected. That's a simple DIY ceramic coat. If you guys need some of that stuff, check out the links down in the description to their website. They usually get pretty good deals, especially around the holidays, so check that out. Use my link down below to order some for yourself if you need it. So on the back side of the headlights, you'll notice they're all covered up. You have to actually transplant all your old bulbs and sockets over into these new headlights. They don't come with any bulbs. I think that's the major difference between having the OEM ones and these aftermarket ones. They don't come with any of this stuff on the back side, but these are about half the cost of OEM ones. I believe OEM, each of these are like $250 to $300. I was able to get both these sets for less than $300 plus tax, so I was pretty happy with that. If you guys need these exact same ones from the exact same seller, check out the links down in the description. I got them from Headlight Depot, which is a major headlight supplier to many body shops, so check them out on eBay. So to increase my output versus the halogens, I'm gonna go ahead and put in these Auto 1 LED H11 bulbs. I got these on Amazon. I was gonna go ahead and try them out to see how well they perform on these headlights. At the end of my installation, I'll go ahead and compare the output of these versus the output of the original faded headlights. Before I put the LEDs in, I'm gonna go ahead and put some brand new H11 bulbs that I have laying around for my other headlight projects into the headlights just to see how well the output is. So for these Auto 1s, I opted for the fan versions of these. They make two types. They make a non-fan version, which is a little bit lower wattage. I believe it's 30 watts total between the two, so it's 15 watts each. The lumen output on those supposedly is 12,000 lumens, where these ones with the fan is a 52 watt total, so 26 watts each, but the lumen output on these is rated at 14,000 lumens total. Both the types that they offer are 6,000 Kelvin. So once we get them in, we'll see how well they perform and see what the output is on the wall. So before we take anything apart, I'll show you guys the output of these things right here. As you can see on the wall, the output is pretty poor. It's like around 50 lux. If you guys watched any of my HID videos on my other cars, those things were getting hundreds of lux. So hopefully once we put in the new headlights with the clear lens and everything, that is going to be much better output. And then when we put the LEDs in, it should blow it out of the water compared to this output right now. So to remove the front bumper, first thing we need to do is go underneath the car here, remove all the clips and everything, and take apart this plastic right here. That'll leave you access to the little clips down here for the bumper. So there's 3 of them back here we want to take apart. After that, we want to go off to the side here, take apart the 10mm screws up here, the 10mm right here, and again go underneath the car and get all the 10mm that hold the fender lining and the front splash guard and everything of front here off. So we'll go ahead and take all that off. Once we do that, we could just pop the bumper out from the side here on both sides and just remove the whole bumper so we can have access to work underneath. All right, now that we got this thing taken apart, you gotta pop this thing out. You gotta use some force to kind of pop it out of here. And there's another clip right about here that you have to pull out. You might have to bend your paint, so you gotta be very careful if your paint is still good on this car when you're pulling this out. So you wanna just grab it right here with the bumper and then just pop it out and just continue popping out. Once you get it out of here, you're gonna do the same on the other side. All right, we're on the other side. We're gonna do the exact same thing. Pop out the inside part here first, and then just use some force and just pop that out. Just pull the whole bumper. Make sure you disconnect your fog lights before you do that so you don't rip anything. All right, now we got the hard part done by taking off the bumper. The next part is pretty easy. So the headlight's only held on by 3 bolts. There's one right here. There's one under this cover right here. Once you pop that off, there's a screw underneath here. And then the one on the side right there. Once you do that, the headlight comes out. To make it easier, go ahead and remove this front bracket right here. It's just 2 10mm there and 2 10mm over here, and that whole bracket comes off. That way you have room to work with pulling that headlight on and off right there. For that cover over here is just held on by the little clips right there into the bracket. Just gotta be careful you don't break that, especially considering how old these cars are. These are gonna be pretty brittle if you even still have these on your car. So we'll go ahead and start shooting these things off. That one we're gonna need a wrench or something to get to right there. Side one. All right, we'll go ahead and pull it off now. So that second bolt right here by the headlight is not even needed. There's only one bolt that holds it over here, and this bracket just slides the whole thing apart. Just keep it right here for now. And then I already took apart everything up here, so we'll just go ahead, just pop this thing out. Go ahead, pop this up here out of the hole there. And then there's one little clip down here like on the Lexus. Just pull it straight out and just undo all the harnesses back here. It should come right out. Everything comes right out. So over here, we'll go ahead and take apart all the light bulbs down here. So just these 2 guys and this guy right here, they all go into one harness right here that pops right out. You could just pop this thing out. I think on the other headlight, it already has the bracket, and then the same with the headlight bulbs and the high beam bulbs. Like I said, for our testing purposes, I'm gonna go ahead and get a new H11 that I have from all my other retrofits, and then for the high beams, we'll just go ahead and reuse that. So for this harness right here, the other headlight actually still has it already, so we'll just take a little flathead and pull this harness right here off and then transplant it over there. Man, this is the night and day difference between these old ones right here. Look how nasty and faded they are. And then these brand new clear ones right here. Wow. You can see right there, that daytime running light that's on all the time, that thing is completely melted on the backside, and the lens on that thing, and it started falling apart inside. You can see it kind of burnt right there through that. So hopefully it doesn't happen on this aftermarket ones. All right, we got the new headlights here. Go ahead and install everything. Or make sure you check, make sure all these things are working and the bulbs look good before you put it all back together, so that way you don't have issues later. So the longer one goes over here, and then the shorter one goes over here. And once we get that, so go line up the clip right here and slip it right in. Perfect. One of the new H11s I have here for testing. The 9005 high beams back here that never get used on this car. Go ahead and reinstall this. So if you guys already got everything taken apart on your car, you might as well clean everything up right here just to get it all nice and clean again. I went ahead and cleaned everything with super clean degreaser just to make sure it's all dust free and clear once we put everything back together, so we don't have to worry about this again. All right, now we got everything in. Let's test, make sure all the lights are working before we go outside and aim these things and then test the light output. All right, I'm using the Sienna over here, parked about the same spot to gauge as the height of the headlight. So you can see over there on the HID, the perfect step on those HIDs on the left side. And over here, our beam is just all over the place. So I'm gonna have to go adjust it up and down just to get it perfectly aligned. So to adjust the headlight, there's only one adjustment on the headlight, and it's right here. Just go ahead and just spin it. You can spin it with this or with a 10mm on the back side right there, and just twist it until it starts going up. So right now we're just aiming it up to the same height as the van. And then on the other side, we'll have to aim down because you see over there, it's too high on the right side. So on this side to go down, we spin it the other direction and watch it go down. Once we get the cutoff perfectly level where the steps are matching, then we can go ahead and measure the output down there at the garage. So here's how the cutoff looks closer up to the garage as I pulled up. I'm gonna go ahead and back it out and then take the measurements. Yeah, it's got some little odd things on the ends, but that's what you kind of expect for aftermarket. We'll go ahead and measure it right there at the cutoff. So right now we're getting right at the cutoff, 150 something. Then we hit about 200 where they both meet. And you go down. So here in the middle, where both beams are kind of working with together, you're getting much better output towards the middle between the two beams. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put the LEDs in and see how it does. So we got the new H11 LEDs in there. You can see the fan space has plenty of ventilation space to blow out. Same with the side over here by the battery. So there's plenty of space behind this. It's not an enclosed fixture or enclosed headlight, so that fan will circulate air out and away from the light bulb. Already with that thing on, the color is a huge difference compared to that yellow daylight or that yellow running light down there. But yeah, that thing looks awesome already from here. So we'll go outside, check the output on the wall and see how it looks. Just walking up to it, that output looks awesome. Now the color, you can't really catch it on camera, but it's a much cooler white versus the old yellow. So we'll go ahead and check the outputs on both sides of the beam to see how everything looks. So we'll start on the single side first, where the beam goes by itself right there, and then we go down to where it meets the other beam. So before we were getting around 200 at that spot, we're getting about 256 now. So we're over here where both beams meet together towards the middle of the beam, and we'll start right at the cutoff. So above the cutoff we're getting like nothing, and right when you get the cutoff you get the most power right there. So yeah, we're getting close to 300, 289, 290, which is higher than before with the halogens, of course. So as you can see, the output on the LED versus the halogen is probably what, like 10% better throughout the beam, and all the way to the bottom it was about probably like 10%. So that's pretty good output. You know, nothing spectacular, but much better. The color is where it makes most sense because the halogen is way too yellow. With this cool white, it looks much better on the road, and it looks a lot cooler on the road. So as mentioned earlier at the beginning of the video, I'm gonna go ahead and swap these things out. They're on order and they should be here in a few days. I'll go ahead and B-roll this and show you what it ends up looking like. To remove this, it's pretty simple. It's just one 10mm right here and a little clip over there, and it just pops right out. And you can actually reinstall these with the bumper on the car because there's so much room between the grill and the fender lining and everything. You can reach your hand up there and just get to it. Hey guys, thanks for joining me all the way to the end of this video on getting these headlights onto the GX470. As you can see, this is quite an easy upgrade for less than $300, especially if you have those old ass original headlights on your GX. As you can see, this is a pretty basic install with a little bit of work if you have basic tools, just taking the bumper off. Once you take the bumper off, it's a pretty easy install. In addition to just the headlights, upgrading to the LED H11 bulbs gives this thing a much modern look and a much better output compared to the halogen. If you guys need these exact same headlights or the H11 bulbs, go ahead and check out the links down in the description of this video. I'll have the links to eBay where I bought these headlights, along with links to Amazon where I got the H11 LED bulb. If you guys found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel to stay on top of all my different DIY projects, go ahead and subscribe to your channel. Remember guys, for all these different projects, if I can do it, you guys can do it. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time.